You walk on solid ground every day, thinking there's nothing beneath you but pipes and dirt. But that's not the whole story, because beneath the glow of city lights, beneath the noise of traffic and music and celebration, there is another world that most people will never see. A world where time feels frozen, a world where people do not exist on paper, a world without sunlight, and the most disturbing part is this. It is not far away, it is directly under your feet. This story isn't just about curiosity or entertainment. Trust me. It's something much deeper. This is a mirror. Stay until the end. Because what you are about to hear is not just about what happens underground. It's about how easily someone can slip into that world. And meanwhile, life above just keeps on rolling. You know, cities are built to dazzle. They sell dreams with glass towers and neon signs. They promise opportunity to anyone willing to chase it. Millions arrive every year believing this is where life changes. But cities are layered, and the deeper you go, the less glamorous they become. Beneath one of the most famous cities in the world, there's a maze of tunnels that stretch for milestorm drains and flood channels. Maintenance corridors, they were never designed for people. They were built to move water quickly when rain hits the desert, to protect casinos, hotels, roads, and businesses. But when systems fail, humans adapt, and over time these tunnels became homes. Not because anyone wanted them to be, but because for some, they were the only place left. Down here, there are no street names, no mailboxes, no doors you can lock with confidence. Spaces are claimed with scrap wood, tarps, shopping carts, and trash pulled from above ground. Every shelter tells a story. Every object was carried here for a reason. Down here, nothing is extra. Many of the people living underground do not have identification. No driver's license, no social security number, no official record of existence. Without these, they cannot work legally. They cannot sign a lease. They cannot access stable health care. 2D system. They are invisible. And invisibility is a slow death. Darkness changes the body. After weeks without sunlight, sleep collapses. People stop knowing when to rest. Hormones shift. Depression deepens. Time becomes meaningless. For some, days just blur together. Others can't even recall entire weeks. You wake when you are tired. You sleep only when you can't keep your eyes open. There's no morning here. No night. Only dark. Darkness isn't just empty. It weighs heavy on your chest. It amplifies every thought. It makes memories louder. Regret becomes impossible to escape. People replay their mistakes again and again. The job they lost. The bond they shattered. The instant everything flipped. In the tunnels, distractions fade, leaving only your past. Fear hits differently down here. Every sound matters. Footsteps echo long before anyone appears. Water dripping sounds like movement. Rats scramble through trash piles. Unseen, you quickly learn to listen more than you talk. Right? Not everyone here is friendly, and stability is a rare thing. Territory matters, and boundaries are taken seriously. Walk into the wrong area unannounced, and you may not leave. Weapons are common. Arguments escalate fast. There's no one to call when violence breaks out. Police radios just don't work down here. And even when authorities know people live here, intervention is rare. Acknowledging the tunnels means admitting something is broken. Flooding is the greatest threat of all. These tunnels are made for quick water flow. When storms hit, it doesn't just trickle in, it bursts through. A storm miles away can send a wall of water rushing through these tunnels in minutes. People have almost no warning. Those who hesitate lose it all. Shelters, belongings, lives. Some bodies are found days later, tangled in debris. Others are never found at all. Down here, floods erase entire lives in silence. Yet despite everything, people stay. Because when you lose everything above ground, leaving becomes harder than staying. Community forms in unexpected ways. People look out for each other when storms hit. They share food and protect those in need. Some tunnels feel almost organized. Beds lifted off the damp ground. Cooking spots made from scraps. Small systems of survival. There are memorials carved into concrete walls. Crosses made from broken wood. Notes written in marker rest. In Pia, Yo Mother. Joe Mother. One man learned to navigate the tunnels without a flashlight. He memorized every curve, every slope. He said the tunnels became his house. Another spoke about friends lost to floods, watching water rise too fast to escape. Screams swallowed by rushing water. A woman said the darkness felt alive. Not just the absence of light, but something that covers you. She said after long enough, you stop feeling human. And then there are the things people struggle to explain. Voices calling names when no one is there. Footsteps approaching, then vanishing. Shadows shift where they shouldn't. Some say it's trauma. Others think isolation messes with your mind. Some think there's more than just darkness in the tunnels. The truth might not even matter. When humans are pushed far enough into darkness, reality bends. People lose track of what is real and what is imagined. Sanity becomes fragile. Many have spent years underground, some even over a decade, and most used to have lives above ground. Families, jobs, homes. They whisper their regrets, afraid that speaking too loud might shatter them. And here is the truth most people do not want to hear. Most of us are closer to this reality than we think. One accident, one illness, one missed paycheck. Millions live one step away from collapse. Stability is often an illusion built on timing and luck. This underground world exists because systems failed. Because society decided it was easier not to look. And that is the most uncomfortable truth of all. If this story resonates with you, hit that subscribe button. But because awareness matters. Because once you see what is hidden, you cannot unsee it. This is just the start. Next, we'll dive deeper into the tunnels, and closer to the people who have been forgotten completely. Going deeper into the tunnels feels less like walking and more like crossing a boundary that was never meant to be crossed. The air changes first. It becomes heavier, thicker. Every breath feels borrowed. The city above fades away, becoming just a distant hum, like a memory you're not sure is real anymore. This is where fear becomes instinct. Down here, it's all about staying alert. No wandering, no rushing. You move with intention. Every tunnel has its own identity, shaped by the people who live inside it. Some tunnels are quiet and almost respectful, while others buzz with tension and unpredictability. Those who know the tunnels can sense danger before it even shows up. They read the ground. The trash, the smell of smoke hangs in the air. They can sense when someone new arrives. And let me tell you, newcomers aren't usually welcomed, not because people are cruel, but because resources are scarce. Trust isn't cheap. Every interaction comes with risks, and one bad encounter can cost you everything. As you move deeper, light becomes a rare luxury. Okasunaji, a metal grate above, allows a thin blade of sunlight to cut through the darkness. People stop when they see it. Some stand under it quietly, letting it touch their skin for a moment, as if reminding themselves they are still human. Some folks steer clear of it altogether. For them, sunlight feels painful after being underground for so long, burning their eyes and pounding their heads. Darkness becomes comfort. That is when you realize how deeply the tunnels change people. Many residents speak about the first weeks underground as the hardest. Your body fights the environment. Your mind refuses to accept it. Then something shifts. You adapt. Your expectations lower. Your world shrinks. You stop thinking about the future and focus only on today. Food, water, safety. Some folks get by digging through dumpsters at night, picking up food, clothes, and even pricey stuff that tourists leave behind. Others hunt for scrap metal, copper wiring, anything that can be sold. Bikes are everything down here. They are transportation, protection, status. People fight and even kill for them. One guy had scars on his forehead. 11 stitches from a fight over a bike. Another described watching someone die inches away from where he slept. An overdose? No warning. No second chance. Narkani's life-saving currency underground. Those who carry it naturally become guardians. But even that has its limits. Down here, help often arrives too late. Floods remain the greatest fear. Residents constantly listen for the sound of rushing water. It starts quietly. 10 hours, they say. When you hear it, you have minutes, sometimes seconds. People snatch what they can and dash. Hesitation, that's a death sentence. Flood reminders linger in many tunnels. Mud lines high on the walls. Debris wedged into ceilings. Each mark tells a story of someone who lost everything, or someone who never made it out. Despite the danger, community exists. People warn each other of threats. Share food. Welcome newcomers with advice, but watch out, community can break apart quickly. Isolation feeds mental health struggles. Addiction becomes a coping mechanism. Down here, trauma. Stacks on trauma. Many residents carry stories that would break most people. Abuse, war, loss. Some folks were born into chaos, while others lost their grip on normalcy in shocking ways. Imagine a guy who once had a home with a pool, now sleeping on cold, damp concrete. Another was a family man with children he has not seen in over a decade. When asked about the future, most do not plan beyond tomorrow. Hope feels dangerous. Hope reminds you of what you lost. Some folks think that tunnels keep them safe. Up top, they feel hunted, judged, and criminalized. Down here, they belong to something, even if that something is broken. The tunnels are not just shelters. They are identities. People memorize every turn, every slope. They navigate by touch, by memory. Light becomes optional. Some have not seen the sun in years. Their skin turns pale. Gray. Doctors would call it deficiency. Residents call it normal, but darkness does something else. It amplifies imagination. Voices echo in ways that distort reality. Shadows stretch unnaturally. Some residents believe the tunnels are haunted. They describe figures darker than the dark. Shapes that move without sound. They say, temperatures drop suddenly. Objects shift when no one is near. Whether these experiences are psychological or something else does not matter. Fear feels real, and fear controls behavior. Some tunnels are avoided entirely. Stories circulate about violence disappearances. No one investigates. No one asks questions. Because down here, survival means minding your own territory. Above ground, people gamble billions every year. Below, people gamble with their lives daily. Luxury towers cast shadows that reach far underground. The contrast is cruel. Above, excess. Below, desperation. And yet, both worlds coexist without acknowledgement. People walk over these tunnels without knowing, or knowing and choosing not to care. That indifference is what keeps this underground world alive, because when society looks away, problems sink deeper. If this story feels uncomfortable, it should, because this is not a distant place. It is beneath cities everywhere, and the line separating stability from collapse is thinner than most people realize. In the next part, we meet the people who have lived underground the longest, those who no longer remember life above, and those who believe they may never leave. The deeper you go, the tunnels shift from mere hiding spots to a whole new world with its own rules. Time. It flows differently down here. There are no clocks, no sunrises, no sunsets. People measure days by hunger, by exhaustion, by the sound of footsteps passing their territory. Many residents stop counting time altogether. When you ask how long they've been down here, they just shrugged. A few years, maybe more. Long enough. Down here, identity erodes. Without IDs or records, many folks just don't exist anymore. No ID means no job. No job means no housing. No housing means no way out. It becomes a closed loop. People are not just homeless, they are invisible. Invisibility really changes how you view yourself. Some folks even forget how to talk to people above ground. They avoid eye contact. They expect rejection. After enough rejection, you stop trying. Mental health struggles intensify in the dark. Anxiety becomes constant. Paranoia feels justified. When you live in a place where violence can happen at any moment, your nervous system never rests. Sleep is light. Interrupted. Every sound could mean trouble. Some folks sleep upright, while others keep weapons close. Trust is earned slowly, if at all. Many have scars, physical reminders of moments when survival came down 2 seconds, a fight over food, a misunderstanding, a theft. One man explains how territory works. You do not cross into someone else's space without permission. You announce yourself loudly. You show your hands. Failure to follow these rules can end badly. Some tunnels are controlled by groups. Some are run by individuals known for their violence. People whisper about them, never mentioning names. Names carry weight underground. Addiction spreads easily here, not because people want to destroy themselves, but because drugs numb fear, hunger, and memory. Meth keeps people awake during dangerous nights. Opioids, silence, emotional pain. But addiction also weakens communities. It fuels theft, violence, desperation. Residents describe watching friends change. Someone who once shared food becomes aggressive. Someone who is gentle becomes unpredictable. Trust fractures, and when trust breaks, safety disappears. Floods do not discriminate. When water comes, it takes everything. Entire living spaces vanish in minutes. Photos, clothes, medications. People describe standing in knee-deep water, trying to save what little they own, knowing it is pointless. Some velocipedes, some lose friends. Bodies are sometimes found days later, sometimes never. Memorials appear quietly. A cross made of scrap wood, a note taped to a wall. No names, just reminders. Despite everything, many residents show resilience that feels almost unreal. They build furniture from trash, create art on concrete walls. One tunnel features murals painted over years, knowing one flood could erase them. Creation becomes resistance. A way to say, I was here. Community organizations occasionally enter the tunnels, offering supplies and medical aid. They are welcomed cautiously. Some residents accept help, others refuse. Pride survives even here. Many fear accepting help will lead to police involvement. Police presence is complicated underground. Some residents describe being arrested simply for existing in the wrong place. Trespassing, loitering, crimes tied to survival. Once you have a record, escape becomes harder. The system does not forgive easily. Several residents say the tunnels feel safer than shelters. Shelters have rules, curfews, conflicts. The tunnels offer autonomy, even if it comes with danger. Freedom versus safety. Everyone chooses differently, but most agree on one thing. Once you stay long enough, leaving becomes terrifying. Above ground feels too loud, too fast, too bright. Crowds feel threatening. Some who manage to leave eventually return, not because they want to, but because it feels familiar. The tunnels become home. And home, even when broken, pulls you back. As night falls above the city, the tunnels remain unchanged. Traffic roars overhead. Music, laughter, life continues. Unaware, below, people settle in for another night. They check entrances, secure belongings. Some pray, some drink, some simply wait. Waiting becomes a way of life. Waiting for morning. Waiting for help. Waiting for something to change. But change rarely comes on its own. And for many underground, the greatest fear is not dying here. It is being forgotten. In the next part, we confront the psychological toll of living without light, without recognition, and without escape. We explore how darkness reshapes identity, belief, and the human mind itself. Darkness does something to the human mind that science still struggles to fully explain. It's not just about missing light, it's about losing your way. Above ground, the sun tells you when to wake up. Shadows tell you where you are. Faces show who you are connected to. Down here, that fades away. People begin to lose their internal compass. Residents often lose track of the day, month, and even memory just fades away. Past and present start to merge. Some talk about hearing voices, not imaginary ones, but echoes that feel personal, footsteps that stop when you stop listening, whispers that call your name, like a haunting echo. Psychologists call it sensory deprivation. Tunnel dwellers call it the darkness playing tricks. But for those who live it, it feels all too real. One man explains that after months underground, light becomes painful. When he briefly returns to the surface, his eyes burn. Sounds feel aggressive. Movement feels overwhelming. He says it feels like the world is attacking him. Another woman shares that wide-open spaces trigger her panic attacks. She prefers the narrow tunnels, where walls are close and predictable. Darkness creates its own comfort. Fear becomes familiar. And familiar fear feels safer than unknown freedom. Many residents carry unresolved trauma. Abuse, loss, war, addiction. The tunnels do not create trauma, but they amplify it. Without therapy, without stability, without rest, emotional wounds fester. Some residents become hypervigilant, others shut down completely. Dissociation becomes a survival mechanism. They stop feeling hunger, stop feeling fear, stop feeling hope. Hust existing. One man explains that the tunnels saved his life. He says the streets would have killed him faster. Down here, he learned how to survive on nothing. He learned patience. He learned silence. But when asked if he feels alive, he pauses. He does not answer immediately. That pause says more than words. Children are sometimes born into this world. Not often, but it happens. They grow up knowing darkness before light. Authorities eventually intervene, but the damage lingers. Imagine learning to crawl where water can rise without warning. Imagine your first memories being concrete walls and echoes. It raises uncomfortable questions about society, about neglect, about who we decide to see. Above ground, Las Vegas shines relentlessly. Neon lights promise escape, luck, reinvention. People fly in believing anything can change in a weekend. Down here, change takes its sweet time. Seriously slow. Some residents watch tourists through metal grates. They see feet walking past, laughter, drunken excitement. Two worlds separated by a few feet of concrete. One built on illusion, the other on survival. A former resident describes the tunnels as a mirror. He says the city needs the tunnels, not physically. Psychologically, they hold the things society does not want to see. Failure, addiction, poverty. As long as they stay underground, the illusion above remains intact. But the illusion is fragile. Floods remind everyone, when water surges through the tunnels, it forces the underground into public view. Bodies surface. Debris spills out. Suddenly, the hidden becomes visible. And then, just as quickly, it is forgotten again. Some organizations try to help people leave. They offer housing programs, job placement, mental health support. Success stories exist, but the path out is steep. Years underground make reintegration difficult. Rules feel restrictive. Schedules feel oppressive. Many relapse. Not because they are weak, but because the world above demands skills they have lost. Trust, consistency, patience. The tunnels do not judge. They simply exist. That neutrality is seductive. As one resident says, down here, no one expects anything from you. Expectation is pressure. Pressure breaks people. Yet even in this darkness, hope flickers quietly. In small acts, sharing food, warning others of danger, protecting newcomers. Humanity survives even here, which makes one thing painfully clear. These are not monsters. They are people. People who fell through cracks wide enough to swallow lives. And the scariest realization is this: most of them were not born here. They arrived, one decision, one accident, one loss at a time, closer than anyone wants to admit. In the final part, we confront the meaning of all this, what the tunnels say about society, about survival, and about how thin the line really is between above and below. Every survival story eventually becomes about choices, but these aren't the easy choices made in comfort, but the kind made when options are already gone. Down in the tunnels, people don't wonder why life turned out this way anymore. They just focus on making it through the next hour. Yet the deeper truth is this: most of them were not always invisible. They had names that mattered. Jobs, families, dreams. Some were veterans who came back different. Others were workers who got hurt and lost it all. Some were parents who made one mistake and never recovered. The tunnels are not a separate world. They are the last stop of the same road everyone is on. That's a tough realization, right? It shows this could happen to anyone. One medical bill, one addiction, one family loss, one rough month. And just like that, stability shatters. People like to believe there is a clear line between us and them. There is not. There is only time and circumstance. As we prepare to leave the tunnels, the silence feels heavier. Not empty, but overflowing with unspoken stories. Lives on pause, stories unfinished. A man waves goodbye as we pass. He does not ask for money. He does not ask for help. Et simply stay safe up there. Up there. As if it is another planet. As I climb back up, the light gets super bright. Way too bright. Then, the noise hits me. Cars. Music. Voices all at once. And suddenly, Las Vegas is back. Bright. Loud. Alive. But it feels different now. Because once you know what exists beneath the shine, you cannot unsee it. The city feels layered. A beautiful illusion built on top of forgotten lives. People rush past, unaware they are walking above hundreds of miles of tunnels, above people who have not seen the sun in years, above stories that will never make the news. And that raises the question no one wants to ask. What does it say about a society that can build palaces of pleasure while allowing entire communities to disappear underground? This is not about blame. It is about awareness. Because ignoring reality does not erase it. It only pushes it deeper. If this story disturbed you, if it made you uncomfortable, that reaction matters. It means you are still connected. And if this message touched something inside you, subscribe. Not for the channel, for yourself. Understanding the hidden layers of our world changes everything, right? There are so many more stories like this, stories that really challenge what we think we know. Stories that reveal the truth beneath the surface. And once you start looking, you realize the most important stories are rarely the ones in the spotlight. They're the stories hidden in silence. Want to keep going? Check out the next video. Because the darkness does not end here, and neither does the truth.